Welcome everybody. Today I kind of want to continue my little discussion about what I started last week in regarding year one, you know, taking a look back at year one, the different things that have changed in year one, and kind of, I guess, kind of reminiscing on different things. And the thing that I kind of want to take a look at today was something that kind of gets put on the back burner that no one really, you know, just no one really stops to think about all that much. Is your kinetic primaries. Because as we all know, we start the game not getting elemental primaries because, as you know, they're all raid weapons, they're all PoE weapons, they're all trials weapons, you know, a lot of the hard to get stuff. And also excluding exotics because, kind of like them, you know, they're pretty random, not too easy to get a hold of and such. But one thing that we all have in common, one thing that we all start off with, and one thing that we all get immediately at the beginning of the game is our kinetic primaries. Keep wanting to say elemental, but is our kinetic primaries. And I kind of want to take a look back at those, you know, kind of what some of your guys' favorite kinetic primaries are throughout the game since the game started, so technically all year one, like what your guys' favorite year one primaries are that are non-raid, non-exotic. So just base legendary kinetic primaries. And they can be from any era in the game, you know. They can be from vanilla Destiny, they can be from Dark Below, they can be from House of Wolves. Just any weapon, any kinetic legendary from year one. Like, what are some of your guys' favorites? So what are some of the ones that you guys just cannot see yourself dismantling, that you guys want to take into like year 3 or 4, you know, kind of as a status symbol and make people wonder where we got these weapons, how we got them, you know, make them yearn for these weapons, but they can't get them because they never played. So just kind of a quick look at what a couple of my favorites are. Is, as you can see, I'm using one of my absolute favorites, which is the Shadow Price, which if you remember back before Dark Below days, this is what the Vanguard used to sell. Really good auto rifle, really good stability. So as you can see, really good rate of fire, good impact, really good range, nice stability. 25 rounds, you know, of course there are weapons out there with more than that, but you know what? Who cares? This gun can wreck in PvP. Well, it used to be such a monster. And with the auto rifle rebuffs that are coming in Taken King, this gun will rise once again. And just like this, the Vanquisher, very similar. Move that over there. Okay, so now, just like the Shadow Price, very similar, you know, slightly lower mag, but whatever. But these two going to come back. Really looking forward to that. Gonna love that. Because again, these are two of my favorite guns. These are my two favorite auto rifles, and I just can't see myself parting with them. Because so much history behind them. And like I said, once we start getting further into Destiny's life cycle, these will be weapons that basically will just show our status, show that we were there. You know, like people will be like, "Oh, how'd you get that weapon?" You just look at them in the face and say, with with the most blank expression ever, just be like, "I was there," and just leave it at that, and then just walk away and let them think. But on a more serious note, I kind of do just want to take a look at some of these kinetic primaries, kind of like what your favorites were. As let me just do a quick rundown of what my favorites were. Is Vanquisher, of course, Shadow Price, of course, the Chance, which is the old Dark Below Future War Cult hand cannon. Such a monster, especially with Field Scout. 13 rounds in a magazine, awesome. The Calling, which is probably still my absolute favorite scout rifle. Like, I would take this scout rifle over just about any other in the game. Also mostly primarily because of this perk right here, Field Scout, and from what I hear you can't get it anymore, so that makes this one very special. And finally, my favorite pulse rifle is the 3 little words. As you can see, moderate rate of fire, good high impact, nice range, decent stability, but Field Scout and full auto make this rifle. Now of course this one was dropped randomly for me, so this is not what you used to be able to buy it at, but still very good. One of my absolute favorites. This Field Scout especially makes it very fun to use, and that is not what I meant to do, which means it is a nice gun for anything PvE related because it offers good damage and it gives you lots of ammo to do that with. So this is another one of those guns that I cannot see myself getting rid of. And I kind of want to, and I know that there's a lot of people that are the same way. You know, you have a lot of weapons that you've got good history with that you just cannot see yourself getting rid of. So I just kind of wanted to give a shout out to the Kinetic legendaries that we started off with, because we would not be anywhere without them. And people jumping around, people just be jumping around. But anyway, so I just wanted to touch on that for a minute, see what you guys have to say. What are some of your favorites? You know, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Tell me what your favorites were, or what your favorites are, if you still have some of your favorites, you know, why it's your favorite and everything. Because I'd like to see. I'm curious to know, because there's so many weapons that have shown up that many people will have many different favorites. So where's this public event? There you are. So I'm gonna jump in on this public event, and I'm also gonna end this video here. So I will see you in the next video, probably in another look back on Destiny's Year 1.
Alright, here we go.
But if next week's Nightfall is not the Archon Priest, then we will also be coming back with a video on the solo Nightfalls. But until then, I will see you guys and have the best of luck. And that is not the super I wanted. Alright. That is not the super I wanted. But anyway, wish you guys the best of luck. Hope you guys have a lot of good times over the week. Hope you guys get some good stuff, and maybe you guys get a look back on some of your old stuff. Get some good use out of it before Taken King comes out, and a lot of your weapons will be underpowered. So just one last time to enjoy them in a good competitive environment. Of course, Crucible will always still be an option. But whatever. See you then, and I will see you next week.
We can do this, I hope.